All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages. What are you optimizing for? So, I've been reading this book, The Science of Scaling by Benjamin Hardy. I actually know him, got a chance to meet him at a writing workshop. Super cool guy, writes really great business books. Um, but we can apply these principles to marriage and family too. And I'm going to talk about that today. Um, we're all optimizing for something, and so we want to be aware of that and choose it intentionally and then really go after it. So my name is Mike Fraser, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach. I help high-achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So some wins from guys in my Strong Men, Strong Marriages program this week. Guys are improving their communication with their wives, expressing themselves, listening better, getting that connection, feeling more at peace within themselves, within their families, feeling more grounded, more at peace with God, just in a better spot overall, improving their physical intimacy and physical connection. For me, being able to really narrow in on what I'm optimizing for just in my life period. And then also that has resulted in more openness, more physical touch in my marriage, more connection. Things are just going better with the kids too. So again, book I'm reading, The Science of Scaling by Benjamin Hardy. Again, we're all optimizing for something in our lives and our relationships. Okay, but what is it? What is it that we are optimizing for? And if we're not conscious of it, typically it's unconscious what we are optimizing for. Or we can say we're optimizing for one thing, but really we're not exactly. So the truth is, as a dad, I feel like I was optimizing for having my kids be out of the house. Okay? That was my goal. I want them to be independent, financially, emotionally, all of that, just be able to be on their own. And so if you're optimizing for that, what it can look like is getting really upset if the kids are needing anything from you. It can look like wanting your 18-year-old out of the house the day he turns 18 and kick him out if he's still here. And being really mad every day that he's still in the house because that's frustrating what I'm optimizing for. Now, that comes with some benefits and it comes with some drawbacks, right? Some benefits, yeah, the kids learn to take care of themselves, they learn to be independent. Drawbacks, it does create some distance. It doesn't exactly create, in some ways, a particularly close relationship. It creates more of an avoidant relationship between you and your kids. As a husband, I think I was mainly optimizing for being a financial provider. Okay. And then expecting back physical and emotional connection and gratitude and sexual connection because of that. Seemed fair, kind of like a traditional how you would view marriage relationship. Guys mainly taking care of the finances, wives mainly taking care of the home, and is grateful to her husband for being the financial provider. It's kind of how 1950s, let's say, and a lot of, 1950 marriage might look like. And so, yeah, I thought, well, hey, I've optimized for that pretty well. It's going pretty well. And so, yeah, my wife should really be responding. And so, what's frustrating about relationship optimization, yeah, maybe more than physical optimization, where you can have almost total control over that, right? What you eat, how much you exercise, like you can control that. Your finances, you have a little more control over that, at the very least, over what you kind of invest in, how much you save, how much you spend. You have personal control over that once you get married and you merge finances. Now, you've introduced some new variables into there. But yeah, with relationships, you can optimize your side, but it doesn't necessarily mean your wife's going to have the same optimization strategy or your kids or whatever. And so you may be optimizing for being a great financial provider, expecting back attention, appreciation, affection, sex. Your wife may not be on the same page, may not be optimizing for that same thing, or think that because you're optimizing for being the financial provider, she should also be optimizing for giving you sex, attention, appreciation, affection, all of that. Okay. So again, me optimizing this way, what happened as the kids got older, I really felt like pushing them out of the house more and more. Okay, really. And then with Elizabeth, feeling like I was not getting what was owed to me, right? So what did that lead to? Frustration. It hurts relationships with my family, hurts relationship with my kids, hurts relationship with Elizabeth. Okay. So again, it was though optimized for what I wanted, or at least what I thought was right or fair to get what I wanted. You know, yeah, I want the kids out of the house so that, and I've discovered this more in therapy than anything, kind of figured out, well, I don't want to be needed. I don't want to have people always feel like, you know, the only way I was going to be free as a person and financially and all kinds of things was to have all the kids gone and not needing anything from me. Um, you know, that sort of thing. So it's optimized that way for a reason, right? A lot of that was unconscious for me. With Elizabeth, I think probably more just my upbringing, maybe church upbringing some, um, or just society or whatever. But I felt like, okay, like I'm providing financially, it should be fair that I'm getting this back. And again, probably a little more unconscious. Um, But what I want you to think about for yourself is, what are you optimizing for right now as a husband? Okay. What do you think that is? Like, what's the one thing that you're really trying to accomplish as a husband? Is it just that you feel like you should be a financial provider and you're doing a good job of that? Maybe it is, right? And you're expecting back attention, appreciation, affection, sex because of that. Is it something else? Are you trying to optimize for making your wife happy? Which I feel like I kind of probably went that way for a while. Problem there, of course, is that you are not always able to make your wife happy. You feel like you're failed if she's not happy. And so, putting that as your goal, having someone else have certain emotions is problematic for a lot of reasons. So yeah, puts your happiness in someone else's hands, puts your success in someone else's hands, all of that. But what is it? What is it you're optimizing for, do you think, right now? What about as a father? What do you think you're optimizing for? Is it to have your kids be independent? Is it for them to have a good relationship with God? Is it for them to, I don't know, what is it? What do you think you're optimizing for as a father? What's the one thing you're driving at most? And if you haven't really thought about this, I'm encouraging you to now, right? And maybe not right while you're listening to this podcast, but maybe later, really thinking through this. Now, the benefit is that, of course, you can use this for other things too, right? Financially, what are you optimizing for? Okay, this book has really helped me think, okay, what am I optimizing for? What's my timeline on this? Physically, what am I optimizing for? So for that, personally, I've chosen, well, I want to optimize for fighting. Okay, I'm doing that fight training. Not that I don't think, I'm not going to become a professional fighter. I'm too old for that. I don't want to get necessarily beat up all the time. Like I bruised my shins just kicking the punching bag the other day, and that's like enough. I don't need to be punched in the face over and over. But it guides my training versus if I said I'm optimizing for being a marathon runner. My training will look very different. So you choose one thing. If you're a bodybuilder, you're going to optimize for something different. Your training is going to look different. Or financially, okay, I'm optimizing for long-term stability. Okay, I'm optimizing for growing my capital. I'm optimizing for income. Those are all going to look different, right? And so you gotta think about it, right? Now, the book, what it talks about is if you try to optimize for more than one thing, it really can't scale. Can't scale, and the way he defines scaling is just to narrow on one thing and really grow it quickly and fast. So, like, let's say physically, I'm trying to optimize for fighting and marathon running. Okay, it's not going to work. Or bodybuilding and triathlon, right? It's not really going to work because they're just so different. Or financially, I'm going to optimize for growth and income. It's probably not. You're going to have to optimize for one or the other. Or, yeah, maybe you find that a little bit of a balance. It does some of both, but it won't go as fast, right? It won't go as fast as if you choose one thing. One thing, you need it to be that simple, okay? So what am I optimizing for now, okay? So step one, you gotta choose your optimization. And again, for me, this is the one that's really working for me right now. For just my overall life goal, okay? be grounded in God and myself. That's number one. Feel that peace with God, with myself. Next, being surrounded by people I love and who love me, sharing great and meaningful experiences together. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm trying to optimize for in my life. Okay, so as a husband, as a father, it fits into that. People I love, who love me, my wife, my kids, sharing great, meaningful experiences together. I don't directly have control over whether they love me, but I can share love with them, and most likely that's going to come back, right? I can plant good seeds. Most likely that's going to result in a good harvest, okay? So again, step one, choose your optimization, all right? Step two is you shrink the timeline down, okay? So for husband and father, so the it kind of started for me with that like funeral experience or deathbed experience, like, you know, what I at the end of my life, what I really want. Yeah, I want to be sharing stories with friends and family of really cool stuff we've done together and meaningful times we've spent together. Um, so then the question becomes, how do I make for this particular one, how do I make today like that? Okay, how do I make today an experience around people I love who love me and that we have great, meaningful experiences together? So that's really shaped how I interact with my kids and my wife every interaction, honestly, and it's been really good. So I say I love you a lot more. I give hugs a lot more. I just tell them I'm proud of them a lot more. Um, Try to make some time to have a couple moments and talk and share. Like, they don't have to be big, right? A great and meaningful experience doesn't have to be going on some huge adventure. And it also means, yeah, let's plan some of those and have some of those really fun, big adventure things. Like, we're going to Norway with my two sons and some other cousins and brother-in-law in snorkeling with orcas. It's going to be super fun. Um, going to my trainer's fight, in November, taking my son. I went to church with my son today, his friend's baptism, had lunch with some new people. Like, laughing at work, having a good time with my coworkers, telling them I appreciate them. So big and small, right? Every day can be a great and meaningful experience. And I really am enjoying that. It's shaping each experience. So instead of like what I want that to be at the end of my life, okay, shrink the timeline. How do I make today like that? Now, this works a lot better for me than like that statement, live each day like your last. It expresses a sort of similar idea, but it doesn't really work for me because if today was my last day, would I record this podcast? I mean, probably not. Or it'd be like, I probably just would not record a podcast today. I'd be, spending a lot of money on one of these great, meaningful experiences, right? Um, and doing that with my family all day today. Um, So, not that I don't appreciate you guys that listen to this podcast, but like, if today was really my last day, I wouldn't be doing this. Um, but if I look at it more in the context of, yeah, people I love that love me, share meaningful experiences, I feel like I shall share meaningful experiences on this podcast. I get good feedback from you guys, and I appreciate your feedback and your thanks when something resonates. The guys that come into the program, I get to share experiences with them. They share very meaningful things with me. I share them with them, and that's all part of, what's going on for me there. So, yeah, the other thing too, what God showed for me now, as far as like what to focus on, to optimize for now, is empathy and patience for Elizabeth and my son in particular, where things have been more strained. How do I create these great, meaningful experiences? Yeah, it's going to be that. So, focusing on one thing at a time. I think empathy for me, that's going to be the next like full year of just focusing just on that. And yeah, again, just each day sharing them, that I care about my kids and telling them I love them more, like making each moment something good. Okay. Yeah. Again, with that, like, live every day like your last. Like, again, financially, I'd be making a lot of different decisions if today was my last day. Or like my diet, I probably would not be worrying too much about my diet today if it was my last day. I'd just be eating all the things that I really love. So yeah, live every day class, I don't think quite works, but optimizing for something where each day can be part of that optimization, I think makes more sense. The other thing too is like for the way you can use this for stuff like finances, though, is okay, let's say I've got a goal $100,000 of passive income. I've had that goal for a long time, $100,000 a month of passive income. That's something I want. But it's always just kind of been out there. I haven't really put a timeline to it. So in the book, he really challenges you to like put a timeline to that. So a lot of people say, okay, in 10 years. But then that usually doesn't motivate anybody to do much. And he says, okay, you need to shrink it down to like 3 years or 1 year, right? If you're going to do that in 3 years, what do you need to do? Now all of a sudden you wake up and you've got to like change your strategy and do something different. Yeah. Or with your diet or exercise, okay, like how do I be ready? A marathon's a good idea. How do I be ready for a marathon in instead of 10 years? How about 1 year? Oh boy, okay, I better start running today, right? Or 6 months, It just kind of shapes it so you get going quicker when you shrink that goal down. So again, I feel like for relationship stuff, it makes sense to think of that deathbed thing, but then like I really like mine. I would, if you want to take mine, take it. Of just like having a life full of great, meaningful experiences with people you love and who love you. And so, how do I make today one of those days where I'm around people I love that love me and we're sharing a great and meaningful experience? It doesn't have to be anything big necessarily. Those little moments, they add up, right? And they matter. Okay. So yeah, the other thing I've been doing more is just playing with my kids. When I see them playing, I come join them more. That kind of thing. Instead of like, oh, I got to clean up first or whatever. So yeah, just laughing more, joking more, having more fun, feeling less pressure. It's been really good. So what's been happening for me? I feel a lot better. I feel like I have a clear direction. Things are already better with my wife and my son just by implementing this recently, and just continue to build great moments with each of my other kids, with my friends, with my coworkers, with my clients, right? It's just, my life is a lot better now that I'm optimizing for this and trying to make each day this way. And again, setting those financial goals. Okay, if I want $100,000 a month in 3 years, all right, well, I put it into ChatGPT to give me some ideas because I need some ideas on that. I don't see a clear way. And that's one of the things he talks about in the book. Like, a big goal like this should stretch you to where you don't really know how you're going to do it in that amount of time. It makes you strip down to what's really going to get you there. So some style goals to set some for myself of like, Ryan Gosling being like the guy I want to dress like. And so it's just a nice filter, right? Okay, does this look that I have today, is this like Gosling level or not, right? For my office, right? That kind of thing. So it's been fun. It's fun to think this way. I probably need to use a little bit more of that and put a little bit more of a timeline on updating my wardrobe, like when I need that done by and when I want my office redecorated by. So anyway, it's a fun thing to think about, right? What's my main thing that I want to optimize for? What's the timeline that I want to do it, and then shrink it down. Okay. So, but with your family, right? What are you optimizing for as a husband and father? And then what do you need to do to make today like that? Okay. What do you need to do today so that it can be whatever it is that you're hoping your life looks like with your wife and your kids? Again, for me, people I love that love me, sharing great, meaningful experience together. So how do I spend time with the people I love today and share a great and meaningful experience? Okay. So start optimizing for it today, right now. And if you want to be with some people that are wanting to optimize themselves in their relationships as husbands and fathers, come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages. Visit strongmen.io, fill out an application if you want to go deep and do some one-on-one work together and really do some uncovering of some of these unconscious things. That's for guys who are ready and willing to make a 5-figure investment. If you're not quite there yet, there's a monthly program. It's going to open at the end of October. Come join us there, $200 a month, and we'll see you there. All right, so join the email list at strongmen.io. Fill out an application if that sounds interesting to you to do some intensive work. Strongmen.io. We will see you there. Stay strong in God, men. We will see you next episode.